Welcome back, everybody. Today's deep dive is all about mindset.
Mindset.
We'll be looking at Carol Dweck's book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, to see how much our beliefs about our abilities can really affect our lives.
Oh, yeah.
So get ready to think about whether we're stuck with the abilities we're born with, or if we can really keep growing and learning throughout our lives.
It's interesting because, we often talk about thoughts and behaviors, but
Yeah.
Dweck kind of it digs deeper and explores the underlying beliefs
Right.
that really shape our actions. It's like she's uncovering the code that runs our lives in a way.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It really is like we're going behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So Dweck talks about these two different mindsets,
Right.
fixed and growth.
Yeah.
And with a fixed mindset, you kind of believe that your abilities are set in stone. Like you're either born intelligent or not athletic or not.
Right.
And there's not a whole lot you can do to change it.
Right. And that fixed mindset often leads people to just constantly seek validation, avoid challenges, and just be afraid to fail.
Oh, absolutely.
And they might say things like, I'm just not a math person.
Yeah.
Or I'm not creative. And these beliefs, unfortunately,
Sad.
often become self-fulfilling prophecies.
I can definitely see how that would prevent people from even trying things or pushing through when things get tough. But then you've got the growth mindset
Yes.
where people believe that they can actually develop new skills.
Absolutely.
And they kind of see those challenges as exciting opportunities instead of threats.
Yeah. Like a good example of that is Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't a natural basketball superstar.
No.
In fact, he got cut from his high school varsity team.
Wow.
But instead of giving up Jordan, just used that to fuel his growth.
Yeah.
He embraced the challenge and practiced constantly
Yeah.
and refined his skills and became arguably the greatest basketball player of all time.
I love that. Talk about turning a setback into a launching pad.
Yeah.
Dweck also uses the example of golfer Sergio Garcia, who blamed everything but himself for his performance during a slump. His equipment, the course, his caddies.
It's kind of funny how much he resisted taking responsibility.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
But I guess Garcia's reaction just highlights how differently these two mindsets deal with setbacks.
Yeah.
Because with a fixed mindset, you see failure as a personal attack on your worth.
Right.
But with a growth mindset, you see it as valuable feedback.
Exactly.
So it's not about not making mistakes, it's about learning from them.
Totally.
Which reminds me of this time I tried to bake a cake for my friend's birthday. And it was a total disaster.
Okay.
At first I was totally embarrassed, but then I realized it was an opportunity to learn.
Yeah.
I watched some videos and I adjusted the recipe.
Yeah.
And the next cake was incredible.
You totally embodied the growth mindset.
Thanks. And this ties into the power of belief.
Yeah.
It's not just about positive thinking.
Right.
It's believing that you can actually grow and change.
Absolutely. Like having an internal compass that always points toward improvement.
It's amazing how our mindset can affect our actions and the outcomes so much.
Yeah.
Dweck also mentions the violinist Nadja Salerno-Sonnenberg,
Oh, yeah.
who was a child prodigy. But as she got older, her fear of failure, stemming from a fixed mindset, really started to paralyze her.
That's right. She was so afraid of making mistakes that she just stopped taking risks.
Wow.
Learning new pieces, and she even stopped bringing her violin to lessons.
Wow.
It's a cautionary tale because even incredible talent can be stifled by a fixed mindset.
It makes you think how important it is to cultivate that growth mindset.
Yeah.
Not just for ourselves, but for our kids, our students, even our colleagues.
Totally.
But what if we spent most of our lives with a fixed mindset?
Yeah.
Can we really change our perspective?
Absolutely. Dweck assures us that mindset isn't set in stone.
Okay, good.
We can learn and grow. And the first step is awareness.
Okay.
Start paying attention to your self-talk.
Right.
Notice what you say when you face a challenge. Do you immediately shy away?
Okay.
Or do you kind of lean in and get curious about what you might learn?
I love that approach.
Yeah.
Approaching challenges with curiosity.
Yeah, it's like turning a roadblock into a detour that leads to something even better.
Love it.
And that's where this drop plate example comes in.
Okay.
So let's say you drop a plate.
Okay.
And your immediate thought is, I'm so clumsy. That's the fixed mindset talking.
Right.
But you can reframe that and say, oops, accidents happen. I'll be more careful next time.
Right.
And it's a simple shift, but it can make a world of difference.
That is such a practical tip. I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
So we really have the power to choose which path we take.
You do.
Either that fixed mindset of blame and avoidance.
Yeah.
Or growth mindset of effort and learning.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to walk this path alone.
Okay.
Surround yourself with people who encourage your growth and challenge you to be your best self.
That's so important.
Having a support network can really make all the difference.
Yeah, it can.
But before we get into that, let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And explore how this mindset stuff actually plays out in the real world.
Let's do it.
Okay. So Dweck has these really cool examples of how mindset plays out in businesses.
Right.
She compares Leah Kaka at Chrysler and Lou Gerstner at IBM to show how these fixed versus growth mindsets can actually make or break a company.
I'm fascinated. Tell me more.
So both Chrysler and IBM were struggling when these guys took over.
Right.
Leah Kaka, who had more of a fixed mindset, he was successful at first because he understood his employees and made quick decisions, which helped Chrysler avoid going bankrupt.
So things were looking up. What happened?
Well, then things kind of took a turn. You see, Ikoka started focusing more on keeping his image and getting everyone's approval than actually leading the company forward.
Interesting.
It's like he climbed the mountain and was just happy to admire the view instead of looking for new horizons.
Right.
He wasn't open to change or new ideas.
So even though he had early success, the fixed mindset ultimately held him and the company back.
Exactly. It's a classic case of how, even at the leadership level, a fixed mindset can prevent growth.
Right.
Now, Gerstner at IBM, he came in with a growth mindset.
Okay.
And he saw right away that their culture was very fixed.
Okay.
Focused on individual achievement and competing internally.
Yeah.
Which is holding them back.
So what did Gerstner do to change things?
He completely transformed the company culture.
Wow.
He flattened the hierarchy, encouraged teamwork and open communication. He really valued everyone's input.
That's great.
It was like he was saying, we're all in this together. Let's learn and grow as a team.
That is a big shift.
Yeah.
So he created a more collaborative and innovative environment.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that change in mindset led to IBM's turnaround and success. Like they went from being a stagnant pond to a flowing river, adapting and evolving with technology.
Those examples really show that mindset isn't just some abstract concept.
Right.
It has real consequences.
Absolutely.
In our lives, our work, even for entire organizations.
Exactly. Makes you think about how we can use this in our personal lives.
Yeah.
Like our relationships, our creativity, even our ability to bounce back from setbacks.
Let's get into that.
Yeah.
How does a fixed mindset show up in our personal lives?
Well, in relationships, a fixed mindset can be really harmful.
Okay.
If you believe that people are inherently good or bad, worthy or unworthy, you're going to judge your partner more and constantly need their approval.
Yeah.
It's like walking on eggshells, afraid to mess things up.
I see how that would cause tension and insecurity.
Yeah, definitely. It stops you from connecting and being truly intimate.
Right.
But a growth mindset creates a more understanding and compassionate approach.
Okay.
You see your partner as someone who's still learning and growing, just like you are.
Yeah.
And you accept that everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
So challenges become opportunities to become closer, rather than reasons to pull away.
It's like they say, love is not about finding the perfect person. It's about seeing an imperfect person perfectly.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Thanks.
And that's what a growth mindset in relationships is all about.
Yeah.
It's about accepting those imperfections and focusing on growing together.
Absolutely. Now, what about creativity?
Ah, yes. Well, with creativity, a fixed mindset can be just as limiting.
How so?
If you think you're either creative or not, you're less likely to try new things, take risks, or push yourself outside your comfort zone.
So you're stuck in a box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that fear of failure can squash your creativity before it even gets going.
Right.
But a growth mindset encourages you to be more playful and curious with your creativity.
I like that.
It's about seeing each attempt, each failure, as an opportunity to learn, a stepping stone to something better.
So it's not about being perfect every time. It's about enjoying the process, the journey of becoming more creative.
Exactly. The joy is in the journey, the experimentation, the constant evolution.
Right.
And a growth mindset sets the stage for that.
I see. What about resilience?
Oh, that's crucial. When it comes to bouncing back from tough times,
Yeah.
our mindset is everything. We all face setbacks, but a fixed mindset sees those as proof that we're weak or not good enough.
Right, like you're flawed somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that can really damage our self-esteem and our belief in ourselves.
Makes sense.
But a growth mindset lets us see challenges as opportunities for growth.
Okay.
They're not roadblocks, they're stepping stones.
So it's the difference between being a teacup that shatters when you bump it and being a tree that bends in the wind and gets stronger during a storm.
That's a beautiful analogy.
Thanks.
That's exactly it. A growth mindset helps you focus on solutions instead of dwelling on problems.
I see.
It allows you to navigate difficult situations and come out stronger on the other side.
You know, hearing all this makes me think of a growth mindset as a superpower.
I agree. It is empowering.
It lets you approach life with curiosity and resilience.
Absolutely.
And a belief in your ability to learn and grow.
And the best part is it's a superpower we can all develop.
That's good to know.
It's not about never making mistakes or having bad days.
Right.
It's about developing a mindset that lets you embrace challenges and keep moving forward.
It sounds like a worthwhile journey. Okay, so we've explored mindset. We've seen how it affects people and companies. And honestly, I'm convinced that cultivating a growth mindset is really important.
It is.
But how do we actually do it?
Right.
How do we shift from fixed to growth?
Well, that's a great question. And luckily, Dweck gives us some really useful strategies.
Okay.
And it starts with awareness.
Okay.
Paying attention to that self-talk,
Yeah.
Noticing the language you use when you face a challenge, a setback, or even success.
So you mean like when we say things like, I'm so bad at this.
Exactly.
Or I'll never be able to do that.
Yep. Are you judging yourself quickly? Blaming others, or just giving up easily? Or are you approaching things with curiosity, a willingness to learn, and believing in your ability to grow?
I realize now how often my self-talk is actually holding me back. It's like I'm sabotaging myself without even realizing it.
It happens more than you think.
Yeah.
But once you're aware of that inner voice, you can start to challenge those fixed mindset thoughts.
Okay.
Ask yourself, is this thought helping me? Is it true? Or is it just a limiting belief?
So it's about being more mindful and then choosing to think about those thoughts differently.
Exactly. That's where reframing comes in. When you catch yourself having a fixed mindset thought, try to reframe it with a growth perspective. So instead of, I'm terrible at math, you could say, I'm still learning math and I'm getting better with practice.
That makes sense. It seems so simple.
Yeah.
But I can see how changing our language like that can really affect how we deal with challenges.
It really can. It's about moving away from that self-criticism and defeatism and focusing on learning and growing.
So what are some other ways to develop a growth mindset?
Well, Dweck emphasizes the importance of effort and persistence.
Okay.
In a fixed mindset, effort is seen as something only people who aren't naturally talented need.
Right.
But with a growth mindset, effort is how we learn and grow.
So it's not about being a natural mind. It's about putting in the work and enjoying getting better.
Exactly. And that's why it's important to embrace challenges.
Okay.
A fixed mindset avoids challenges.
Right.
But a growth mindset sees them as opportunities.
Like they say, what doesn't challenge you doesn't change you.
Exactly. Challenges push us out of our comfort zone, make us learn new skills, and make us stronger.
So how do we find those growth opportunities? How do we actually put this into practice?
Start by figuring out where you feel stuck.
Okay.
Maybe it's a skill you want to learn, a fear you want to overcome, or a goal you've been putting off. Then break that challenge down into smaller, more manageable steps.
That's a great advice.
Yeah.
It's like the saying, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Exactly.
Even small things done consistently can lead to amazing growth.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to ask for feedback along the way.
Okay.
A fixed mindset sees feedback as criticism.
Yeah.
But a growth mindset sees it as valuable information.
So being open to learning from others, even if it's not always easy to hear.
Exactly. Feedback, whether it's good or bad, can give us insights that we wouldn't have on our own. It helps us see our blind spots, improve our strategies, and grow faster.
This has been such an insightful deep dive.
I'm glad you think so.
I feel inspired to start using these growth mindset principles in my life.
That's great to hear. Remember, it's a journey, not a race.
Right.
Be patient with yourself. Celebrate your progress and embrace that continuous learning and growth.
This has been a fantastic deep dive. We've covered the basics of mindset, seen real-world examples, and learned practical ways to shift to a growth mindset.
Yep.
For our listeners who want to learn more, we highly recommend Carol Dweck's book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success.
Yes, it's a really great read.
It's truly transformative.
Yeah.
And as always, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this deep dive.
Absolutely.
What resonated with you? What areas of your life are you excited to apply a growth mindset to?
Yeah, let us know.
Share your insights with us on social media or email us at remember@blinkist.com.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive,
yeah,
please share it with your friends, family, or anyone who might benefit from learning about the power of mindset.
It's always better to share the journey of growth and learning with others.
It is.
Until next time, keep those minds expanding.